Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Alrighty, so I know that we had a bit of difficulties getting there connected there, but I answered a few questions in between, so no worries. Um, for those of you who haven't joined before, my name is Jordan. I am the International New and Social Media Officer here at Lakehead University. And so that means that I help oversee our social media channels as well as help run live events and do a bit more on campus. And I'll pass off to Esther now to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Esther. I'm from South Korea. And I actually finished second year at Lakehead. Um, so I was in applied life science, but I'm transferring into nursing. And I'm actually from Jeonju, South Korea. I haven't mentioned my hometown. And fun fact of me is uh, I'm good at computer. I'm interested in graphic designing.
Okay. So what sort of graphic design do you typically get into?
It's usually menus for restaurants and web designing
Okay.
is sort
So
of there.
it's
Yes.
a bit of the technology side, and that obviously speaks to maybe some of your hobbies and passions, but obviously being in applied life sciences and now going into nursing, it sounds like you're definitely interested in the sciences and the health and medical side.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. Um, and so diving into one of the first questions I always typically ask is what made you want to study abroad in Canada? And then we'll dive into like what helped you pick Lakehead University.
So I actually came to Canada when I was 14. So I started my high school in Canada. Uh, that was so as a young student, I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to study English, first of all, and it would be better for me to settle here for my uh, further education.
For
Yeah.
sure, yeah. And so when that opportunity arose to continue high school in Canada, um, was there any other specific reasons that you picked Canada to do high school in general?
Uh, so I didn't actually know where Canada was. But I heard that Canada was a safe place than somewhere else, and I knew some relative in Canada, so I think it was best idea for me to come to Canada, and that
Awesome.
was
Well, we're
yeah.
certainly happy that you're here. Now, speaking to obviously the journey from studying high school in Canada to then picking your university path and choosing Lakehead, can you help us understand why you picked Lakehead University as your next step in your education career?
So actually, I was debating a lot where to go to for my secondary education. But looking through a lot of university, Lakehead was pretty unique university since they have attached medical school.
Hmm.
Um, that was very unique for me because I want to pursue my career after secondary education into medical school. But it was awesome, and also there was one student actually my one of my friend went to Lakehead, um, and she told me about how the classes are small, so you can actually involve into many conversation with the instructor and many other friends,
For
like
sure.
students.
And
Yes.
speaking to that a bit, why do you think small classes have been so important in your education and like your growth within education?
Uh, since high school is pretty like limited number of classes, so it's actually good to ask questions and like the teacher answers you. But there are a lot of difficulty in university to ask question and like to study better, but Lakehead was pretty small classes. They have small classes, and that's actually helpful, like to actually like answer the question right away, and then the instructor answers you right away, and it
For
was
sure.
fast learning. Yes,
Yeah, so
that's
it
right.
kind of sounds like, to summarize almost, based on your high school experience, it was easy to ask questions and get help from your peers and your teachers. And then the perception in university is kind of you're on your own. But with your experience at Lakehead, you've said that the small classes have provided you the opportunity to ask questions and get help from professors almost immediately.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to hear that. And also, I know that you said that your friend mentioned that Lakehead's campus is really beautiful. Could you kind of share with the audience maybe one of your favorite places on campus to go to?
Sure. Just give me 1 second. I have pictures of everywhere.
Awesome.
So this picture, of our residence. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you can see.
Yeah, that's
But
perfect right
this
there.
is the background is Tumber Lake,
Yeah,
and out in winter it's actually beautiful. Like you can skate sometime there when it's allowed. But
yeah,
just looking at the lake is actually like amazing, and like you can relax in front of the lake, and there's like a window through the actual campus
mm-hmm.
building, Agora, and from there um, it's actually amazing. Like you can drink coffee and while you're looking at the lake.
Yeah. Me and another fellow guest on one of these lives mentioned the fact that one of our favorite things to do is to get a coffee from the study and then hang out along the windows you're talking about, and then you get a nice view of Lake Tamblyn and just the beautiful nature of campus too.
Yes.
And so you said this
Mhm.
photo is a photo of your residence friends.
Yeah.
And so what were you doing when you took this photo?
So this was actually like freshman event
Mm-hmm.
where you meet almost everyone in your residence, and gather and talk and get closer. I mean, get to know people. And as a freshman, it was good start to know people and to interact.
For sure.
Because yes, these are the people you live with for a year, and it was always good to know.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Another thing that I heard you mention is that you had your friend already on the Lakehead campus. Could you share with the audience maybe what that friend said to you, or what they talked about Lakehead, and whether that helped influence your decision?
Sorry, could you repeat your question
For
one more
sure.
time?
Yeah, no worries. So you mentioned that you had a friend already on campus, or you knew someone on campus. Uh,
Mhm.
did their testimonial or their voice help you pick Lakehead, or did someone else's testimonial help you?
So I saw a lot of advertisements from Lakehead, and that first draw my attention first. And then when I actually choose Lakehead for my further education, I asked my friend a lot of questions, and it was pretty um, positive. um, I was looking forward to come to Lakehead. Yes.
Awesome. Well, we were definitely looking forward to having you. So that kind of speaks and segues really nicely into the next question. When you were preparing to make the journey to Lakehead, I know that you were only coming from an Ontario high school. What were you most excited for and or nervous for?
So it's ironic how I was very excited to meet new people outside of my friend zone, but also I was nervous to meet other people. Like how they will react towards me. And I don't know if would I be able to be friend with different culture. That was also one of the issues that I was concerning about.
For sure. And so when you were excited about meeting new friends, could you speak to maybe why you were excited to meet new friends and what sort of friends you were looking to meet and all that and experiences to have?
Hmm. Sure. So there's a lot of meme, or there's quotes saying that your university friends are gonna be your forever friends. So I was really excited to meet like new friends and
Hmm.
have a journey with them, but also I was scared about like would I be able to like find good friends.
Fair enough. Yeah. And speaking to that, where did you meet your friends and sort of how did those relationships begin, or where are the strongest relationships maybe?
So I met my best friend um, at my residence, one of the res sports, and we started to have the lunch or dinner, the meal together.
For sure.
And especially like as a freshman, um, there the residence meal was mandatory, I think. So we always had to go to cafeteria, eat together as a group as well. Um, and it just build up on the relationship, the friendship. Yeah.
For sure, yeah. And speaking to that a bit, what you referenced is the fact that if you're living in residence halls, which is typically reserved for incoming high school students, then
Yeah.
you have a mandatory meal plan, and then we have a few other options on the Thunder Bay campus, at least, where you can live um, locations or accommodations that have a full kitchen, and you aren't required to get a meal plan. Did you enjoy having the meal plan based on like not having to worry about cooking, and then also just maybe focusing a little more on academics and social?
Oh, definitely. I actually don't know how to cook. So that was that was lucky for me to not have any kitchen.
Awesome.
I didn't have to I mean, I don't have to worry about burning anything and get into trouble.
And so now,
But yes.
after first year of living in residence, did you move off campus or did you move to a different style of accommodations?
So the residence life was great, but also I wanted to experience the Thunder Bay life. I mean, like more than just the school. So I and my friend decided to move out with several friends and live in a 5-person house. I mean, really close to the school. So it
Hmm.
was actually good. Um, I got to really like learn how to live as an adult, as an adult. So I
So
actually
you
had
got
to
to
learn how
build
to
on
cook.
those
Yeah.
new life skills and have new experiences and I mean really start adulting, I guess.
Yes.
Also jumping back to the original topic, was there anything else that you were really excited for?
Um, Other than meeting new friends, so as an international student, there was actually a lot of events or a lot of opportunities to engage with different culture and like different events with like different people from different country. So it was actually like refreshing, I guess. Like you meet new people with new culture and you actually get to learn their culture, and it was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What was your favorite event that you've gone to in the last year or two?
So I think there was one of the event that I actually participate was it was Culture Day for East Asia, so like Korea and Japan, and there was actually a lot of fun. Like I got to meet um new people from Japan, but also from Korea, especially like those one who transfers.
Hmm.
for a short period of time, and to meet those people and talk to my own language was actually like fun.
Yeah, for
It was,
sure.
yeah.
And so that Culture Day is a part of something that International Student Services here at Lakehead University hosts on a regular basis. So they feature different regions of the world, and it's an opportunity for the entire campus community, for students to get together, share knowledge of culture, share religions, share food, listen to music, play games. And I mean, I think they're really exciting personally. And obviously, you had fun at the Culture Day that represented some of your traditions, and you were able to connect with more students that you hadn't before.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like the students that some of the students that you met were actually on exchange. And did you end up making friendships with them? Are you still connected with them at all?
Oh, definitely. Some of them I still talk to on Instagram or different different social media. And some of them I do I do watch their life stories, I
For
guess.
sure. Awesome. Was there anything else that you were really excited for with starting at Lakehead?
I was really excited about the academic as well. Like, I cannot just think about playing all the time, but also think about studying. Um, so I basically first year I lived in the library. I was very like nervous how my academic grade will show
Mm-hmm.
about like my first year and second year. Um, but doing my program as an applied life science, I think it was really interesting to get in depth about all three science for me. So I did biology, chemistry, and physics in high school, but to get in depth, it was actually like interesting for me. Yeah.
Awesome. And so that's a nice segue into the next section I always like talking about in academics. So speaking about applied life sciences, and then eventually we'll dive into your transition into nursing. So it sounds like how did you pick your program? How did you pick
So
applied life sciences?
at first, I was looking for a program where I can explore more about science, but I didn't want to choose just one because I like all. So looking through that, there was a program called Life Science, and that does go into all three science and math, which
Mm-hmm.
I like. So I chose that program, and I really enjoyed my first and second year of that program. But it as a second year student now, I gotta think of what I should do for my future, and it ended up on transferring into nursing.
For sure, yeah.
Yes.
And so diving into, we'll start with your applied life sciences because now you've completed 2 years of that program. What did you like most about the learning environment?
So actually, um, although science field does have a lot of lab into it, and those labs are mandatory if you're taking a science course. Um, so those labs really help me to understand where I get the concept, like what I am learning in that class, and like to apply that I learn better because those are hands-on experience. Um, so I actually have a video of me in a lab.
For sure, yeah. We'll be happy to watch it.
It's pretty long, so I will just stop at once.
So could you share with the viewers what lab this was for, or what course this was for?
Oh, sure. So this course Oh, sorry. So this course was laboratory biology, and it like I learned how to research in that course, basically, like, and um how to like expand those research and those learnings,
Awesome.
especially during labs, bio labs. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So when you show the video, maybe you could explain for the first little bit just kind of what you're doing in the video, and it'll help our viewers get a little more context too.
Oh, but in case there will be no sound.
That's okay.
I tried to make sound, but it doesn't work.
No worries.
So this lab was actually video assignment, where I have to take video of me doing one of the technique during the lab, and to proceed those technique properly. So this will be the video.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
So this was the part I was explaining how to set the pipette, how much I'm going to use to pipette.
And so obviously you were in person still, but to record your assignment, you had someone film it, and then you submitted that to the professor?
Yes, I had a partner, and we took video of each other for assignment. I don't know if I can forward this video. This is pretty long.
That's okay. I think we get a good idea of obviously your lab environment and the different experiments that you were conducting based on your assignments.
Yes.
Diving into the program still, what else do you really like about applied life sciences?
Applied life science. So during that program, like compared to other friends from still science field, but more concentrated in their, so like biology or chemistry or physics, because we are taking all our requirements were set up first year and second year, so we really didn't have to worry about what to choose, like what to take for classes. So I think that's also I guess good part if you're like me, like I don't know, like I have big difficulty choosing
A
just like in
single
general.
subject
Yeah.
or a single topic. Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking to that, obviously, it sounds like you were excited to learn a really broad knowledge of the sciences and have a variety of courses that covered kind of the basics that you need to know as a foundation.
Yeah.
And so I know that will probably make your transition into nursing quite a bit easier, having that broad-based knowledge along science. And I know you'll have a lot of learning to do as well with that program, because it's a very exciting and intense program for sure. Have you been involved in other research projects within applied life sciences?
So during that class, it's actually the classes for learning how to research and learning how to do proper research process. So that course itself was really helpful for me to actually learn about what is research in university and how to really search, get the information from the topic.
For sure.
So during that course, I had to research about the pea growth, how the pea grow, in what condition, with what kind of hormone they provide.
So for that, did you actually use like a planted pea vegetable, and then you had them in different growing environments, and you added different hormones to each of the plants?
Oh yes, first class. First class there was actually planting a pea plant. So the pea seed was provided, and we actually had to um, plant it
Mm-hmm.
for the future experiments without us knowing what we're gonna research.
For sure, yeah. So it was there was that learning goal and outcome for planting the actual the pea plant and then letting it grow. Meanwhile, the whole time you didn't necessarily know that you were going to be conducting your own research and experiments on that.
Yeah.
That's really exciting and sounds interesting too. Um, Now, diving into nursing, so I know you've decided to pursue nursing after your second year. Can you help us understand what made you want to pursue nursing?
So my final goal from this secondary education was to pursue my um, pursue my future career into medical school. But
Mm-hmm.
since I'm an international school, I am not eligible actually to get into medical school since they require permanent residency or Canadian citizenship. Um, but I don't have both of them.
Yeah,
So to actually gain experience, I guess, job experience, I think nursing was a good idea for me to get kind of medical field experience. Same time, um, I think I thought it would be involved in what I wanted to do later on,
for
like
sure.
helping other people. Yeah.
It gives you that experiential learning outcome and the factor that you're actually working in a medical field. Obviously, end goal is still to go to medical school, and like you mentioned, students are required to be have their PR. If they're an international student, they need their PR, they need their citizenship. So it's that one extra step. But in order to do that, typically students need to have careers and whatnot. And so, being in the nursing field, you'll hopefully be able to secure that quite easily, and then past that point you'll be able to use the knowledge you gained in that career also to aid your education.
Mm-hmm.
um, so speaking a bit about medical school in general, what's your main pursuit with medical school? Do you have a passion for medical school because of the science behind it, or do you want to be a doctor for the broader good?
So, um, when I came to Canada, um, I had really big dream. This is still big dream, but I wanted to become a doctor. But to pursue that dream, I had to work hard, especially like there's a lot of like English um, background. I mean, lots of scientific words. Um, so I was really interested in science, but found out that I also need working experience, and it will be similar, like to learn about the nursing will still have science background behind. So that's also interesting for me. And um, comparing life science with nursing has more clinical placement
Mm-hmm.
where you can actually learn better with your experience. So I think that was also a unique part.
For
Yeah.
sure, yeah. And I know that students that do the nursing program are really excited with Lakehead's nursing program. Within your first year, you're already in those clinical placements, working with our partnership with the Thunder Bay Regional Health Science Center, which is the main hospital. And then they're also doing other placements. So once they have that general experience and they have the hospital experience, I know that students are getting part-time jobs or summer jobs in the medical field already, even after their first year. So they're continuing to expand their portfolio, expand their resume, which of course looks really good, and can aid your application to medical school.
Yeah.
So another thing that I like to get our special guests to do is kind of share with us a photo that represents, we like to phrase it as like a life-changing moment, but it was, to put in more easy terms, the moment where you realize, like, okay, Thunder Bay is where I'm supposed to be, like, I'm excited for the next step of my journey, and kind of where that all came and hit you, maybe.
So I'm not really like outgoing person. Like I actually never went outside of campus even once when I was first year, because I really didn't have to go outside unless my friends are going to eat somewhere, or like we are planning to go somewhere to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But with my friends, I went to Mount McKay.
Yep.
Sorry, that
That's
was
okay.
hard. Um, and we were looking at the sunset, and it was actually like mind changing, I guess. Like I was like, I actually had those feeling where, oh, I'm so grateful that I'm in Thunder Bay and experiencing a lot of changes to become an adult from high school students.
For sure,
So
yeah.
this picture was the picture that we took.
Wow.
Yes.
That is
It
a
was
beautiful
amazing.
sunset for sure.
Yes. It's a little dark, but um the experience is not even comparable than to the picture. Yes. It was
For sure,
amazing.
yeah. I mean, a picture cannot capture the feelings or what you're experiencing in that moment. And like you touched on, obviously, it kind of helped you realize like how grateful you were to be where you are and to be studying and pursuing that next step in the larger, the big goal in life too.
Yeah.
And so I was curious now, do you have any advice for future international students?
I do. I actually do. Um, so um, I would say talk to more about like talk to the professional people. Um, you like I thought I knew a lot like of myself and what to do, but there is more people you can give advice um through the university life, like for example, switching the program, like me transferring program. I wouldn't have done that if I didn't have any help.
Mm-hmm.
It was and um I thought it would be really hard to approach those professional um, or advisors, but uh, they were really welcoming. Like they had no problem helping me out, and it was really like nice. Um, so really didn't have to worry about what to do. Like I didn't panic um, while there's big change was going on.
Fair enough,
um,
yeah.
and it doesn't have to be that big problem. Also, like course selection, any B problem. If you talk to the advisor, they have I'm sure they have something for you.
Well, I know we
So
have dedicated international student advisors
yes,
that are there to guide students in many, many different ways. But then, of course, we have specialized departments that guide our students in career success, career exploration, health and wellness, academic advising, um, mentorship. There's so many different opportunities for students to get supports from professionals and advisors that are have been doing this for years on end.
yes. So don't suffer by yourself, but get help.
Awesome. So I want to take this opportunity to answer a few questions. Um, hmm. I just checked the question box. It looks like the questions were more statements. There's a few students that were just saying that they're excited to join us this fall. So we're excited to have those students join. If any of our viewers have questions right now for myself, for Lakehead University in general, or Esther, you can use the comment section. Otherwise, maybe while I have you, I would love to dive maybe just back into residence and chat about the experience. So I know you mentioned you lived on campus for your first year, and you met lots of your friends through the residence life activities. Could you maybe speak to some of your favorite activities?
So every Sunday there was red sports. So instead of you staying in your room or like sitting down and like no activity going on, Sunday red sports would be the best idea for you to join. You actually make a lot of friends from different residents as well. It's really good experience to meet other people and actually to engage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to hear that. So I think that kind of covers all the topics we wanted to chat about today. And I know that we covered a lot. We covered your journey to Ontario back when you were 14 from South Korea, chatted about your Lakehead experience, your resident experience. We really dove into academics and kind of your future goals with medical school. I want to thank you for joining me. I had a great time today. And I want to thank our viewers for joining us as well.
Thank you for inviting me, and
No
thanks for
worries.
coming in for
Of
the
course.
live channel.
Alrighty, well, thanks again. We'll hopefully see some of our students on our live webinar tomorrow, where we're going to sit down with a faculty member of nursing, and we're going to dive into the nursing program. Alrighty, so
Sure.
bye for now.
Bye.